This is the Toward a New World podcast with your host, Corinna Stoffel. As a space for all things regarding the global collective transition we are in, we have conversations about transition, separation, and connection regarding oneself, others, and the earth. The aim is to educate, empower, and inspire. Hello and welcome. Here we are again. And I almost want to preface today's podcast with, I noticed I have an insatiable hunger for more consciousness, more awareness. It seems like I perceive something in the air and I want to know more. I find myself listening to podcasts, really getting into them, listening to them in the evening so I have time afterwards to be with it, and maybe even take it into my dream state, sleep, whatsoever. And it just keeps going. So I don't know what is exactly going on, and it is fine. I want to start today's exploration by reading an entry in my book, A Different World. A world where consciousness is valued. Consciousness includes everything and judges nothing. Consciousness looks at the impact each choice has and what future it will create. Consciousness asks questions and perceives the energy that is brought up by it. It does not look for answers. It cherishes the unlimited possibilities from which we can choose. Consciousness, what is that? It really is a big question on some level. And so I thought, let's look up what Webster says about consciousness. Consciousness is a state of being awake and aware of one's surrounding. It's the awareness or perception of something by a person. What the heck does that mean? What are we aware of? Are we even aware of stuff? And yes, if I take myself as usually a reference, I am aware of things. And I am aware, for instance, that I am different. And I can acknowledge that both cognitively as well as energetically. And I'm also aware that this gets drowned out by the business in here. The mind chatter, the so-called monkey mind. And because of that, I'm not present with what is in the moment. And I'm noticing that I'm in the past, and more often actually in the future, sort of thinking, okay, what do I need to do tomorrow, next week, what's on the calendar, etc., etc. But none of that is actually being present. What is it that I need to do right now? What is required right now? And it started for me with every once in a while having a thought or the perception of an energy that I caught and paying attention to it. And as I kept practicing that, it kept increasing. And I am, interestingly, now relatively aware of what is going through my head. What am I perceiving in my body energetically? And as a result, I am way more present in the now. But it took me a while. It's not something that happens overnight. It requires the commitment to learning to be present enough to catch those thoughts. And it's interesting for me, how shall I say that? It feels like there are times or moments during the day where I am not thinking, and at the same time, I doubt myself. Am I really not thinking? There can't be. I have to be thinking. And it feels like I'm not thinking. So, be it as it may, it at least shows me that I'm present. And how present are we overall? Really, how present are we? I want to use some of the lines that I just read, like consciousness looks at the impact of our choices and what future it will create. Reading that and taking it very literally, it means that I can be aware of the exact future that gets created. That's not the case. Because on some level, that would truly mean that I can fully 100% create a future. And I'm not the only one here on the earth. There are 8 billion people, and there are the animals and the plants and the earth herself. So there is so much that needs to come together if I wanted to create a future. But what that means is that energetically, I am willing to perceive if that choice creates a contraction or an expansion. If it creates more, even though I do not know what exactly that more is. It is a choice that I actually actively might consider making. So, how much do we also choose? And that choice is actually an answer to a question. And then the answer is one, that choice is one of an unlimited number of possibilities. And we judge it because we could have made a different choice. We could have done something different. We could have made a better choice. That was not the right choice. I didn't get as much what I expected out of it. It didn't result in what I expected. And all those things, aren't they a sign that if I have an expectation with a choice, that choice is not just a plain yes-no choice. It actually is a selfish choice in a way because there is self-interest. I have certain expectations. And what if we are willing to say, oh, okay, that choice did not create what I expected. Acknowledge that, and then make another choice, make a new choice, make a different choice. Because there is an unlimited number of possibilities. And even that is an incredibly big statement. There is an unlimited number of possibilities. What does that evoke? Does it evoke overwhelm? There's an unlimited number of possibilities. Whoa. I don't know how to choose from those. Those are too many. I need to narrow it down. And so we also start judging the possibilities. Some are good possibilities, some are other bad possibilities, but are they actually good or bad? Consciousness does not judge, as I said. For consciousness, it just is. So, getting back to present, because right now, talking about it almost seems like I'm in the future. Am I willing to interrupt what I'm doing for a few breaths? Am I willing to become present right now? Be here right now. And being present, what if that actually can sort of stop that mind chatter, that monkey mind? Because we're not going all over the place, exploring what are the possibilities right now, right here. And internally, I almost have to chuckle. Here I am talking about what is consciousness, as if I knew what consciousness actually is. I have an idea what it is for me, but that doesn't have to be true for you or anybody else. And is that actually what consciousness is? What if I allow it to be a mystery? What if it's okay not to know, not to have an intellectual answer? What if consciousness, that term, is as vast as space? And am I willing to explore that space? Space, not just this little space here. No, I mean the universe, space. with all the billions of stars? What if consciousness is that vast? And what does it bring up when I think about exploring the universe, exploring space? That's too huge? That's too big? That's too overwhelming? Maybe, but maybe not. What if I'm willing to discover what it means for me? And what if you are willing to discover what it means for you? And are we okay with the fact that it may be two totally different ideas of what it means for you and what it means for me? And the other thing is, what if consciousness is more a felt sense than an intellectual construct? And yeah, we can make it into an intellectual construct. But is that truly what consciousness is? I'm leaving you with that question. Contemplate it, be with it, and leave a comment for me. I would love to know what this evokes in you, where this takes you. Let's start a conversation. Until next time, take care.